247 got a hold on me. There's no better way that I could ever say it. 247 got a hold on me. I'm so tired every day. 247 got a hold on me. Lock it up, lock it down, throw the key away. 247 got a hold on me. Every day to the yellow, every day. 247 got a hold on me. There's no better way that I could ever say it. 247 got a hold on me. I'm to the top for you good every day. 247 got a hold on me. Lock it up, lock it down, throw the key away. 247 got a hold on me.
This is Out of Body Heat. Welcome, Facebook. We're ending up the pre-show. We got one more song before we go live. Hey, y'all. Testing out that system, making sure all systems are operational. Hey, York. My atomic dog brother. We love you. Love you, brother. Serena Mobley, what's happening? Laksh. Stanley. So one more record before we go live. The topic for tonight is 2018. Do we still have to pay? That's the topic for tonight. It's 2018. Do we still have to pay? That's right, tonight's topic. It's 2018. Do we still have to pay? Mario representing for the fellas.
Keeping fresh hair, blowing $80 at the damn state fair. Beachbody surfing with the abs looking perfect. Hitting all the clubs, getting love.
Pax Stereo live.
From ice cream cones to the Starbucks stones to your new best friend to your breakup song. They all play out like your favorite.
Victor Allen and I getting ready for you.
With no cause, with no cause. You want attention, so you looking for applause. See who was a loss, didn't have a cause. It was the summertime to us, it had flaws. With no cause, with no cause. You want attention, so you looking for applause. See who was a loss, didn't have a cause. It was the summertime, so it had no flaws.
This light's out of Body Heat. Get ready for the broadcast. Come on, y'all. The topic for tonight, 2018. Do men still have to pay? Welcome everybody, welcome everyone to Friday Night Agenda, Part 1. Please forgive me. but I barely had enough time to prepare for the show. So that means that my smoking got delayed. And so I had to smoke as I was getting the system together. But that's because I was out to a wonderful early Friday dinner. And for those of you on Facebook, I'm posting, I think I posted some things already about the dinner. So welcome everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Agenda. Welcome. I'm here with my partner in crime. Give it up, Victor Allen over there. Give it up for Vic.
What's up, guys? What's up?
And we got the full agenda for you tonight, the Friday Night Agenda. First, in part one, Real Man Talk, we're going to be discussing the fact that it's 2018. Do men still have to pay? So for some of y'all, I know it's going to be a heated personal discussion because some of y'all feel strongly about that. But that's the topic for tonight. It's 2018. Do men still have to pay? For those of you who are in that chat room out there, get your comments and questions ready. Remember, you are part of the experience. We want you to be part of it. We want you to be there, part of everything that's happening, because that's where we are here at Pax Stereo. So we gave you the heads up. You know it's all about who's gonna pay. I know people. I'm looking forward to see if Serena gonna say something. Serena say, "What?" I'm just saying. I'm not throwing people under the bus. I'm just saying. I want to see what people are going to be saying. So that's what we have tonight. Remember, we go till a little bit around 8:30, and then we take a 30-minute break or so for Victor to come back with the I, Victor, feature Miko's Challenge. Vic, what do you got coming up tonight?
Well, let's keep it real. You know. Honesty is the best policy, but also, is the challenge to be honest or to reciprocate in kind. And as you recall from last week, it was about, hey, look, I'm a business associate, but you never know. Hey, let's relax sometimes. Let's not drive so hard. Let's not drive this bus so hard. Sometimes it's just cheap. Well, we're gonna find out how much chilling can we do.
Be there at 9 o'clock. Award-winning I, Victor, featuring Miko's Challenge. Well, again, the topic for today is that it's 2018. I can't even get it out. 2018. Do men still have to pay? Now, before I get this going, Victor and I, we do make you aware of our relative positions, because Real Man Talk, you got Victor and I. So we represent the Real Man Talk, and we look at the chat room for all the comments from the ladies. But it represents the opinions of, essentially two old school brothers. They have difference in some of the things they say, very different. But we do represent kind of a generational thing, we admit, Vic and I, even though it may be different than what you think. Okay, so I'll start. I, for one, came up in that era where men were expected to do things. Now, what's funny about me, I always have been one of them brothers who would, because of that, would pay. I was raised that way, my dad did it. But on the other hand, if you acted like you had it coming, we were going to have a problem. So I paid, but I kind of rebelled against the concept, why do I have to pay? Now let me make it clear. Later on in life, because I did well as a physician, I had means. So therefore, I paid, but more so because I had means. It wasn't like I felt like I had to pay, but I felt like I was, a physician now. I had means. So when I went out on dates, it wasn't an issue. I had the money to cover everything. But believe me, it would occur to me that what if I didn't have the money? What if I wasn't a physician going on a date and what if I didn't have the money? Then I would have found it really perturbing to be with women who felt like they had it coming. So that's always been part of my issue, is the women who feel like they have it coming, or somehow it's part of their right as womanhood. Now what's amazing is that I also came up in the time of growing women's liberation. That, it was hidden. The women's lib movement hit in our lifetime.
Absolutely.
And so, once again, we as men were a little confused with all this liberation. Do we still have to pay? Do we have to pay? Because if we liberate and everybody equal, even though I can tell you, let's be clear, we're talking about dating now. Because when it comes to the married situation with married folks, women always have chipped in and paid their whole salary, just like people put their salaries together. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about dating.
What age are you?
Any age in which you're dating.
Okay, so let me help you with a situation where I go. Depending on your age, when you first start dating, brothers are hustling any way they can to get that money to go out on a date. Now, I'm not sure if you went through that or not.
I have to sell drugs to get money for a date or prostitute myself.
It was, now, that's just telling you the time of when I know what I went through. It went through like this. Should you ask first and go find out where you get the money? Oh, and let me put it this way. When you say, do women have to pay, are you saying based on who's inviting whom? So if you invite a woman.
Oh, yeah, because let me tell you this. We can handle that. I can tell you as a physician, I just left the company of one of my exes. I had dinner with friends. We're friends. And I can tell you this. Even when they ask me, they expect me to pay. So I can tell you that. That's a fact, Vic. When they ask me, when the woman asked me, they totally mean for me to pay. Mario, we should go see Hamilton. They're not trying to come up with a damn dime. Mario, we should go see Maxwell. It's coming up. They send me shit because, I'm their old boyfriend. They go like, I can get Mario to pay. I can get Mario to pay. They go, I know they thinking that. They thinking that. I can get Mario to pay. Mario loves me. And I can get him to pay because he's still my friend. He loves me. So they use it because that's what we just talk about the real, right? These are my ex-girlfriends who I love, who I'm not sleeping
So you're
with.
talking about ex.
Right,
But
right.
The dating part is a little bit.
And I'm not sleeping with them.
Right, got you.
Okay, but I make the point too that still, I pay all the time. Now, again, I'm a person who has the means, so it's a little different. But my heart is with my brothers, because I got a bunch of friends who don't have the means that I do. And I kind of feel like they do. Why should they have to pay? Some of y'all got more money. You have more funds in terms of, recreational money. If you really are better set up in today's world, 2018, why do I have to pay as the man?
So are you standing for the brothers who can't really afford it? Are you representing those who are struggling to get out there on that date?
Even for the brothers who can afford it, like myself,
right.
And again, let me state that I stated at the beginning,
right.
I always pay.
Right.
I still paid, so I'm in a unique position.
Right.
I always pay, but I don't think it should be my inherent job responsibility to pay. And if you are someone who acts like you got it coming,
right.
Me and you are probably going to have some kind of a run-in.
Now, which one makes you go like, man, I love paying for
The
you?
ones who don't,
Wait a minute, just
the ones who struck, see.
No, wait a minute.
Go on.
Stop. No,
Lay
wait.
it out.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm going to be real. We're talking about real talk now. There's inspiration, There's that inspiration where you go like this, whatever she wants, right? You've been through that, right? Whatever she wants.
See, what he means is when you pee whipped.
No, wait a minute.
See, that's what they can say. They can talk about when the sex is so good.
Before the sex.
Then you give them the credit card. Women do that too. It's called dicking them down or pussy whip for the men.
Okay.
When they get, the sex is so good, you just give them a credit card. So the women go, here, just buy shit. Here. And the men the same way. So we know that sex can make people make irrational decisions. Hopefully, but you're right, Vic, that has a lot to do with it. If you want it bad, you try to pay.
And have you been in that position where you're going like this? Cost is no issue. I got this.
I've been in the position where I want it bad.
That's right. Now wait a minute. The women that's listening to you are going, I'm one of them. Want me that bad, right? Isn't that what you're talking
Then
about?
you're not liberated then. You know what happened, Vic?
What?
Remember they would tell us, I ain't that liberated. They would say, I'm liberated, but I ain't that liberated.
Right.
So you're right.
So I'm only going to.
I've wanted it so bad,
Right.
like every other brother.
Right.
because I reminded some of the women in a previous show that young men pray for sex. See, young men actually get on their, dear God, can I please have this woman? Men pray for sex. Seriously, people say, no, I'm telling you, because it's personal between you and God, and God understands how important having sex with this woman is, right? You can talk to God. God, she's so fine. She's so fine. Please, Lord, can I have this girl, please? You be begging.
That's right.
We've all done that. It's been a long time for me.
See, because you actually have to go, how do you represent those men who go like this? I got nothing but a lot of money. And the older the men, because of time, tenure, and investment, and because they become more successful, use money as the bait to say, look, you can't turn this down. I'm going to treat you well. So now, there's that whole side over there, and women look forward to that.
And I'm in that, except I just take the counterculture. I'm a retired physician with no wife, no children, and I'm very comfortable. So I could do for you what I want to do for you. On the other hand, why?
You say, wait a minute.
Why? Why?
So you're not motivated. So you're not talking about the motivated ones. The ones that you're like really motivated for. Not the conditional ones. See, that's how we get you, bro. I'm telling you. I know what you're doing. And I got it. You've been thinking a lot. But wait till the motivated one is you.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So, I know what he means. Because the good ones, okay, first of all, for me, I've dated a bunch of struggling women too in my life. By struggling, I mean hardworking women, teachers, not in high-paying jobs, or single mothers raising children, and that's draining their finance. They have children and all that. So I dated a bunch of women who had financial difficulty. Amazing difference in the attitude from the student who later on I spent 9 years with in the relationship, who even when she was a student tried to contribute to everything. And I would say, no, don't do it.
Right.
Well, I can buy, we would take trips. She said, well, I can buy us a dinner. I go, I got it, but you don't have to, you know.
Right.
But she was so adamant, she wanted to pay for something. She said, every time you take me to do things, you do things to me, I feel bad can't contribute. I said, you contribute by my happiness, and that you're so sweet a person to be with. So you don't have to put in any money, but she tried, which is a direct contrast to those ones who feel they have it coming. So I must admit, I am a sucker for independent, self-sufficient women with pride who may be struggling financially. I won't let you pay for anything. I will not let you pay for anything. And I'll tell you, you don't need to pay with me because you are, I've said this to women, you're a single mother, you got stuff to do with your money, I'll pay. See, I'm old school. I pay for babysitters. I was like, I'll pay for the babysitter. You know?
Right. Right.
So I don't have that. But again, when you get those ones who act like they have it coming, now Vic,
yeah.
In terms of those ones that act like they have it coming, have we known some?
Yeah, of course. Because, be honest with you, Mara, I don't think it's a surprise that there's an expectation, especially if you're talking about old school. There's old school values, but there's new school days. And I was always taught that, hey, look, if you're gonna pursue a woman or a lady, you're going to be the one that's taking care of the invitations to wherever you're taking her to and what you're doing. Now, that was just that. But she also said, make sure you know who you're dealing with. See, the caveat is that not everybody qualifies because it's just the rule. There are people who are out there going like, I just want to be treated right. You may not be that special, but why not treat me that right? Treat me right. And I know friends, female friends, who go like, do I have to be attracted and interested in you for you to treat me good? And I know those who
yes,
they're
pretty much.
Wait, some say, no, why can't you just give me a good time? So I'm
because I don't need to spend money on friends. No, I answered that question because I had one of my exes go, well, Mario, we're friends. Why can't you take me on a trip? Because you ain't a girlfriend. And they're like, but I'm a friend. I said, am I looking for friends to take on trips? Is that a thing now? I need a friend to take to the Greek Isles with me? Is that what it's coming down to? So, no, let's be clear on that. Why can't you just spend money on me? What was it? How do you say it, Vic? You did it so well.
What?
Why can't you just spend money on me with me just being a friend?
Yeah.
The answer is no. No, that's not the answer. The answer is hell no.
Now, wait a minute.
Hell no.
Now-
And why would you expect that? Why'd you spend some money on me?
Well, now,
And that's coming from the person who's a hell.
But you know what? Let me give you something.
Hell no.
There's a caveat to this. You actually have enjoyed having some wonderful friendships from women that you actually say, you know what? Let's go have a good time.
No, I dated some women with bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I dated some women with bank, more bank than me.
Yep.
So when you date a woman with bank,
Yep.
they come a whole different way. They do. You know, and it's fucking wonderful. I'm telling you. I'm just saying. And women say, it's over. No, it's not overestimated. It is wonderful. Women with their own bank are wonderful. Sorry. And I've dated many a broke woman.
Okay, so
I'm just saying sometimes dating a woman with some bank
Right.
is wonderful. If they have the right attitude, it can be wonderful.
You have no problem if you're just casually dating and she's going, she has expectations. You're already going like this, you motivate me, I'm sold, let me go do this. But she also dates other men.
Oh, then get them to buy shit. No, hell no.
Wait a minute, she's
Hell
She's
no.
just trying to make her choices.
First
man.
of all,
she's trying to make her
if
mind
there's too
up.
much mileage in that thing, no. I don't like to be. That's right now my body's a temple. It's already an issue when you get to be dating at my age, just what the rules are, so that's already a trip. So I'm just saying, so if you're going to deal with that,
Right.
you got some things to deal with.
So what you're saying is while I'm dating the one that I'm motivated by, she has to be only dating you for you to sit back and give her a clean bill of I'm going to spend whatever it
What
takes.
happened to safe sex?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just
With the stuff I like to do to a woman, we need to be in a monogamous relationship. That's as big a hint as I'll give you. With the stuff I like to do to a woman, we need to be in a monogamous relationship.
See you already.
Because it ain't healthy. If
So-
you want to get some tests, I'm one of those guys, like I say, once you find out what I want to do to you, you should get some tests, get all the tests done, get them all out the way, Vic, because I want to have really, if I like you, what my goal is really unsafe sex. That's my goal. My goal is unsafe sex, so we got to get tested.
So
You got to get tested where they give you the clean bill of health.
right.
Because I remember the last time I did get tested, I was in the doctor's office, I was leaving with my girlfriend. I was like, there's going to be some burning tonight. There's going to be some flesh burns tonight, damn it. I'm about to go crazy up in this shit.
So give me the correlation. Give me the correlation to who
Good
pays.
raw. Good raw.
Who pays? See, you're linking.
Well, the
this-
correlation was that she made me pay for the test. That's the correlation. So, in order to have sex, they made me pay for the tests. And they even knew the open all night testing places. I had this friend, she knew to open all night. She could take you to Hollywood, get you tested. 2 hours later, she'd be boning you. But she took you to Hollywood, got the test done, went and had a burger, some fries.
That's kind of scary.
And they say, the tests are done.
Wait a minute. She has a routine.
Well, I thought I could tell you she's one of my friends. I won't name you because I know you probably don't want to be named.
All right,
I'm just saying, she will say, no, Mario, it's just I wanted to get you tested. I said, this is a girl who knows me, and every time we got together, I said, you're the hot one. If anyone's out there hoeing, it's you.
Mm-hmm.
But you want me to be tested all the time, and that means you guilty.
Right.
I don't know what unsafe shit. I want everything, by the way. I want the full panel.
But see, the good thing about it is we're keeping this under the consideration of just dating, right? That's
Dating
all.
is sex today, so you got to work it out. Who pays? Even though the women may pay for their own condoms today,
Right.
I'm sure they expect you to reimburse them.
Now let me just put it over on the other side. Say you got that group of women that go like money is not an issue for me. And they actually go, not only am I going to take care of this, I'm going to do this. Do you fear that the dating is not the ultimate goal, that she's trying to wrap you up total? Because wonder if she's treating you like, oh no, I'll
Well,
take
it is
care
part
of
of it is part of wrapping you up total, because we've all had those babes. They go like, "Are you safe?"
Right,
They say, "Because I'll take your word."
right,
I'm asking you, are you
Right.
safe? And if if you say you safe, I'm gonna give you everything. You be like, we've
Right.
had them. They just all they need is your word,
okay,
right?
Right.
Right. Just like we used to ask babes, "Are you on the pill?" Right? Because back in our day, all we had to worry about was pregnancy.
right,
So that was the big thing, and you took their word, right? You didn't have them get out the pills and
Right.
show you the doctor appointment slips and all that shit.
right,
They could just say, "I'm on the pill." So I can tell you this. Now, maybe it's my personality, and I think guys may need to use better judgment. But all the women that have dated me, they've kind of like taken my word, except for this one. They ask me if you've been, and I say I'm safe. They say okay. Because I'm like, I hate condoms. I hate condoms. So I don't know what to tell y'all. I've tried to like condoms. So I would rather just not do it and go get tested. I'd rather just kiss, make up, stick to oral sex, no condoms, and just go get tested. So this is the kind of shit you have to agree on today's dating world, right? You have to sit down with your babe. And according to the new congressional rules that's coming out, y'all going to have a contract that says you've agreed you're going to have sex. Because it has to be clear. That's a clear yes.
Now you actually are saying that there's this comfort zone of conversation about sex. Who is putting it on the table?
Everybody.
Well, but remember now, it's easy to get to the conditions of what you will or won't do, but in dating, it's not only at the beginning. But where do you find that, where you that comfort zone to say, let me express to you my conditions of intimacy? Well, you haven't even gotten that far.
No, it's
yet.
difficult. That's what I'm saying. That's one who's in dating world. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, so I'm in dating world right now. And I want you to know it's very difficult. And I'm struggling. That's fucked up. It's fucked up. People comment in the background. Like Miko coming.
That was a good one. She said South scary.
I'm in a dating world right now. Yeah, this dating world right now is kind of a trip. Because the women that are coming at me, okay, they not asking for no's. See, this is what's fucked up. When you're a doctor and shit, maybe that's the way. Because they ain't asking me. They just do, are you safe? They being safe. All they going, are you safe? They ready to give me the, they're ready to let it roll.
Right.
It's like, they was like, are you safe? And I'm like, well, you don't need me to be tested? Did you need the last man? What was the last man? And so I started inquiring now, because maybe you're just a person who don't require no testing. So I need to know. And they go, no, the last girl I was like, she says, I was in a relationship for 10 years. So it just wasn't an issue in the relationship. Because it was supposed to be, as far as I know, he never cheated. But I was in a relationship for 10 years. So it didn't come up.
Right.
And so it hasn't come up since then. So I said, okay, I get it. It hasn't come up, But I can always bring up that I've been tested because of my friend. You dragged me into being tested all the time.
Right.
I said, well, I got tested because I have a friend who's out there hoeing. And so whenever we go on a trip, she makes me get tested. And I'm just glad because I make her get tested. But I'm telling her, you the one who's out there.
Right.
I'm living the life of the quiet, conservative video producer.
So she says, hey, I'll get tested anytime you want. You just pay for everything when we go dating.
You're right. And pay for the test.
Right. That's how.
She ain't paying for none of that.
Right. Okay.
So I pay for the test.
Right.
That's why I act a damn fool in the testing place.
Right.
Every time it comes back positive, I say, it's on!
But,
They come and say, other tests are good, doctor, everything's clear.
Right.
I go, okay, that's your ass. That's your ass tonight. You're gonna be walking like a penguin tomorrow.
So you got two conditions that says money's not an issue or an object. The test And if you're motivated and says,
So
"Oh,
we're
yeah,
back to the money.
Yeah.
No, Vic, the money's still an issue. Why should we have to pay for the VD test?
okay,
Why can't y'all pay for the VD test? Why can't y'all, first of all, as a woman, you need to have your shit checked regularly, get a tune-up, get it tuned up.
right,
So when you go in there to get your tune-up, they should check your stuff. And the men need to get checked regularly too. I can say that as a physician. No, I'm not saying that the men don't need to be checked. They do.
yeah,
I'm just saying the question was who pays. So the men should pay, go to their doctor,
Right.
get their checkup,
okay."
and the women should get their checkup.
Oh yeah, that's that may not.
Then
be,
maybe they can compare paperwork.
Hey, look, and let me just say this: women are a little bit more diligent in that area of making sure they follow up and take care. But we're talking about dating as it relates to you going, not the worst case scenarios, not the caution. When they say, "Hey, wonder if you're dating," and you're dating somebody who says, "You know, Mario, I think you're really great, but I'm not planning to have intimacy, but you think she is the one," and she says, "Not until I know that we're a serious relationship will I be intimate." But
That's when you have the sex debate. See, because what I explained to them, it's a sex debate because here's the thing that women today don't like. I have a sex debate. I say, I'm a physician, right? So there are some forms of sex that are relatively safe.
There you go. So what you know,
See,
now you acting like the brother back
I
in the
think
day.
there's some stuff that's relatively safe.
There goes that hustle.
There
goes that hustle.
In the time that we're waiting for the tests, why don't we do some of that sex that's relatively safe? Because there is some relatively safe sex. See, it's not safe sex, it's relatively safe sex.
Oh yeah.
So there's some relatively safe sex
Yeah.
out there, like, okay, and you can break it down. This is where it gets in dating if you don't pay. So if you can't agree on who's going to pay for the test to see if you're sexually clean, you might agree on the dating intermediary points. Because, I'm a doctor. I said, I could do some damage with my fingertips and my lips. So if that's what your concern is, I could do some damage and you would be a happy camper.
No,
on the other hand,
it may be something different than what you think. You're talking about something, and she's going, "Wonder if you only see me only so far, and I'm looking for the whole package."
well, you don't know that either way with tests or not tests.
So you end up having what they call a conversation.
Right, because to me, that's not a given either way, right? In other words, which is often the case, if what you're trying to do is negotiate sex as a bargaining point in your relationship, if you're actually making that mistake, as so many people do, and make that a bargaining point,
Right.
then that's what you end up with. Sex as a bargaining point. I'm one of those guys that was bringing up to you like that, which makes it harder for them. In other words, I'm saying, I'm the guy who'll go, "Oh, so sex is a bargaining point?" So I just want to make sure you're acting like your criteria is better than mine. So your criteria is I have to take you out how many times before I have sex. That's your criteria. Is there an intimacy criteria in here? So when like you said, there comes the old player. Mario's going to have that conversation with them if they're going to bring that to me. See, I'm going to say, no, you're going to have to explain whatever attitude is your attitude, you're going to have to explain that, kind of. Because I'm going to ask you. Because, like I said, if you want to have some safer, if his issue is safe sex and avoiding penile penetration, there's a whole bunch of stuff you could do on a Saturday night, keep you busy all night long without doing all that.
Maybe she's just being philosophical and not the conditional. Maybe you're breaking it down to the safe sex. She's going, "No, it's philosophical."
That's why you have the conversation. Because sex to some people might mean, "Oh, I'm not going to kiss you deeply, kiss you deeply, because that's sex." To some people, that's sex.
Okay.
Other people were like, "I'm good for a hand job." That's the way they are. They go, "I don't even count that as, would that get us through the night?" They start taking off their gloves. Is that going to get us through the night? We can get that out the way right now.
Okay.
But I'm curious to see what you're working with.
Okay.
So I'm saying, sometimes it's that.
Okay.
So the issue with the relationship, how you proceed, again, that decides what you discuss. I think you should discuss it. Now, you do understand that if you discuss all this shit prior to having sex, you probably not gonna have no sex. You probably not gonna. If you discuss all this shit, you're gonna be so sobered up. Ain't nobody, unless you turn on some Pornhub, there ain't gonna be no sex, because y'all gonna be so fragile up, you know, struggling about what the rules was for sex. You know, it probably ain't gonna serve as a turn on, but it may be. So now, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back. We'll take a musical break, and then Vic and I are gonna attempt to give you our best case scenario. What do I mean? When we come back from this musical break, Victor and I are going to each try to tell you what's the best we can imagine it working out.
Really? Wait.
Well, for this, if we were having a sexual discussion with our new whatever love, you can use whatever past experience. What is the best case scenario? What is the best scenario? In other words, there's a bunch that are not good, right?
Yeah.
Let's take about what could be the best.
Truth.
True. Well, you know what I'm saying. We'll come back. When we come back, I'm going to talk about the best case scenario when it comes to the debate over who pays and sex. Because somehow they got related in this conversation. It started out simply as who paid.
You took it there.
And then Victor took it to who paid and sex. We'll be right back.
Spring snows have drifted into April. They say
Time to medicate.
There's nothing left to keep me hanging around. Still, you got me thinking maybe I should stay. Your letter lies falling on the table. My clothes lie folded on the chair. I'm usually gone by now, and I'm not able to forget the smell of moonlight in your hair. And if you're rooting for your heart, and if you want me to stay, and if you'll take this all on your heart, and if you say I can stay,
Real mad talk.
I'll stay. The white mist has risen off the river, and all the birds have taken to the sky.
When I come back, I'm going to read some of the comments in the chat room.
I have no reason to be alibis. The moonlight has left us both in ribbons. I wonder if I'm really worth the fight. I fell asleep by surrender. I lay down.
Thinking a bunch of people in the commenting, it's not showing up over here for me. I didn't see it till over here. I see
And if you're rooting for your heart, and if you want me to stay, and if you'll take this all on your heart, and if you say I can stay, I'll stay. The fire is burning on the hillside. The fever is breaking over snow. I'm losing things I've taken pains to hide. Still, you've got me thinking maybe I won't go. I've really
What's happening, Wanda?
I can't
Keith,
forget the
Russell,
reasons I still
Mercy, Rosalie,
even though
Nortrice, Serena.
I'm so.
What's happening, y'all?
And if you're rooting for your part, and if you want me to stay, and if you take this all around, and if you say I can stay, I'll stay. Still, you got me thinking
Good
maybe I
week.
should stay. You got to stay, stay. Stay. You got to stay.
The sound of Love Shadow. You got me. Featuring the artist formerly known as Romancito. You got me. All free music. All free music. Friday Night Agenda. Wanda says she's just checking out my vibe. Wanda, this is that real man talk. I don't know. Say something about to eat. Pax Stereo. Yes. Yes. Real Man Talk. Welcome everybody. You're at the show where real men, Victor and I sharing our experience with you. And tonight we're talking about dating and sex and do men still pay? And so let me tell you, the chat room, not to ignore you guys, but the chat room is very active. Laiha. She said, if you invite, you pay, period. You know, and Celeste is chiming in with her stuff. You know, she says, things stay the same. Some people were asking, like Glenda said, well, do we expect sex on the first date? You know what? Expectations are disappointments in the making. I try not to have any expectations on the first date, to tell you the truth. I'm just hoping I will like you. I'm just hoping I will like you. I try not to have big expectations for your looks, even if I've seen pictures, because pictures sometimes lie, right? They show up and they don't look like the picture. So I'm not expecting anything, but people are chiming in terms of what they expect from dating and pay.
Right. Well, I mean, if you were having this conversation, say 20, 25 years ago, different perspective, right?
It sure is different.
Because you've had what they call a pathway of experiences, so you now know how to delineate what works for you, what's not. But your mentality is, you're not like that safari hunter that existed back in the days. I should know. I remember.
Well, we're not fueled.
So,
okay, a man in their 20s and 30s is fueled by such a high level of testosterone.
Right.
We too were in that zone.
Right.
We were out chasing women hard.
Right.
We had 9 parties a year one time. Victor, me, and the fellas. So we chased, but now that's different. So you do it different. Let me comment as it relates with that. Like having sex with a woman on the first date. Because then if we look into our past, I'm sure Victor and I, we both had some women who we had sex on the first date. Now I will say, I'm trying to think it through. It is my understanding, even though it's probably flawed. If I remember correctly, it seems to me the women with whom I had sex on the first date, and I had a few, just a few, who's had sex, spent the night. Every single one of those went on to be my girlfriend. It's like from that date. So maybe it was good judgment. In other words, when I think back to the women, I remember in college, I had this one girl I went out with a day. I won't mention her name, but she was one of my really favorite friends. The first time we went on a date, I remember we woke up in the morning, I was sleeping on the floor, and she was in my bed in my dorm room.
Wow.
That's the way we woke up. I don't even know I fell asleep. I was on the floor, she's in my bed, we wake up, and we go out to breakfast. But we were boyfriend, girlfriend
Right.
from the first date.
Right.
That's why she spent the night. The night, sometimes when it depends why you spent the night. Now for me, maybe it's different. Because I'm a big into people thing. And so, if it's purely a sexual connection, maybe that would have worked like Victor said. That might have worked back in the day when you were so fine we didn't care. But now it's a little different.
They're still fine, right?
Yeah.
See, you
Y'all gotta look
see,
at 'em.
See, you have to put it. The women are even more beautiful now, man, and you have to think how you're applying it because you're saying it's their inner beauty now, right? Isn't that what you're referring to, or are you trying to go back to the player days?
Oh no. I'm not. I mean, I'm comfortable where I'm not. That's part of the problem.
Okay.
I'm not trying to act like the old days.
Got it.
For me, that's one of my dating issues because right now, because of the popularity on Facebook, what I'm experiencing right now, I'm sure a lot of the ladies out there have experienced. I'm experiencing a bunch of females coming at me hardcore. And the average man, I don't know, even some of my pretty boy friends like Russell, they might have had 3 to 5 women and 10 women coming after them. But when you get 50, 60 women chasing you, that's a little much. It's a little much and it doesn't help certain things. So, no, it's part of that. I'm experiencing that as an older brother trying to do the right thing, giving up on the hounding days,
Right.
now to be presented with a bunch of women chasing you. And some of them are fine. And, you know, they come at you with the old school shit
Right.
that you start thinking you don't respond to that. See, that's what happens. You start thinking you stronger than that. But then some hoochie mama comes up to you wearing,
Hoochie?
well, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
Some
what?
young, sexually aggressive woman shows up and is that way to you. That presents you with some issues. And that's what's amazing. Who would have guessed? That presents you with some issues. So you think you're above that. That's the point. And maybe the ladies are right when the women say, I can get to any man. Maybe they're right. But when you think you're above things, and then that woman presents herself to you in that way that looks like everything you've ever dreamed, saying the right stuff to you, then what I'm suggesting, it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult to stay the course, whatever the course is.
So
That's
the
what I'm
difficulty really, from what you're saying, is the amount of opportunities. That's the biggest struggle. You know, see, I'm keeping the correlation with money. I can see, because the biggest thing is that you have more choices right now, right?
Yeah, I have more. I have. See, why are you laughing? See, Nick makes it sound all bad. See, he knows how you did. He asked me the question, then he starts cracking up like, yeah, I have more choice. Okay,